Well, here we are again. How's everybody doing? Jim Adkins here from Adkins Results Coaching, trying for the third time to go live to discuss self sabotage. And I can share this with you right now. This is one of the things I allow to derail me from time to time. I have issues with technology, and more times than not, I find myself getting frustrated and I find my comfort zone to be no technology, so I'll walk away from it. And I don't even make the videos. My martial arts students will attest to that. We're still waiting for some videos, but they're coming. All right, let's get to the point of the day in self sabotage. And I think I've got everything hooked up the way I need to, and we're going to discuss um, how self sabotage or derailing your own success can be linked to your self worth. Seems to be pretty interesting at how this takes place, and I will try to be as brief as I can, and I'll try to get right to the point, stay on track. Self sabotage. Self sabotage can be when you're moving forward towards a goal, and it can be any goal. It can be business, relationship, financial, whatever the goal may be. And you start making headway and you start feeling really good. And then you find yourself back to square one, or even worse, less than square one. How does that happen? Well, there's a lot of reasons that happen, and we're going to cover those. Trust me, it can be in any area of your life. You can be um, in a great relationship and experience massive failure. Now, massive failure doesn't just happen at once. It happens with a lot of little things, right? Failure to say, I love you, failure to make the phone calls that you need to make phone calls, failure to do just the little things that all add up. Those happen subconsciously, unconsciously, not while you're knocked out, but you don't typically do them with your best interests in mind. Let's discuss that. So, we all have paradigms, beliefs, and comfort zones that we live within. Some of them we pay attention to, some of them just kind of linger in the background of what's taking place. What I'd like you to do is start paying attention, write them down, and try to take control of them. Try to take control of them. And I know it sounds like a lot of work, but it really doesn't have to be. But keep a journal, okay? Keep a journal, and you'll start to notice patterns. A good analogy of this is I got it from Tony Robbins, and he calls it your thermostat. Just like the thermostat in your house, sometimes when we start moving forward or it starts heating up, our comfort level, while being set here, will disallow it to get beyond a certain point before it kicks in and brings us back to where it's at. You understand the thermostat analogy, right? That's our comfort zone. A lot of times, our comfort zone is linked to our self worth. We're not worthy of this amount of success. We're not worthy of this amount of love. We're not worthy of this amount of attention or finance or financial wherewithal. Where does that come from? Because outwardly, I know, like myself, when we start succeeding, we really think we want more of that. You start making more money in life. You believe that that's what you need to do, and this is feeling good, and you want more. But deep down, you may not feel you're worthy of that. Why? We're going to cover some of those. Like I said, with a relationship, you start a great relationship, and you do these little things that are going to put it in the trash can. Why do we do that to ourselves? Why do we do that to other people? Well, let me ask you some questions. All right. One, is your self worth tied to what other people think? This can be a part of your self worth within your industry, your career, your success in that area. Let's say, um, yeah, I'm gonna come up with some examples here. Let's say you're in an industry where there are some highly educated individuals. people that have numerous years of schooling, and you don't have as many years of schooling as they do. And you feel like because of that, you don't deserve what they have. And that happens a lot. But I'll also tell you this, the chances of you being better than them, smarter than them, more um, useful than they are almost 90 to 100%. I'm not saying there's no value in education. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you personally may have way more to offer than what they learned in their schooling. I've seen it happen. I was part of that. When I was a financial consultant, I didn't have a master's degree, but I was in the top 2% of the financial industry that I was in, the company that I worked for. I was in the top 2% of all producers in that company. No master's degree. Okay, there it was. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you that that's just how it happens. So is your self-worth tied to what other people think about you? How about your education? Is your self-worth tied to your education? Is it tied to how much work you put into what you're doing? Let's say you have a relationship and you don't feel like you're giving your all. Now, this can be an outward feeling or it can be just kind of a secret, private feeling to where you feel like you could do more or whatever it is, and now you feel less than worthy. It's starting to sound silly, isn't it? Well, let's go one more. Um, is your self worth tied to um, things that you're doing privately to yourself, or things you're not doing privately that you think you should be doing, taking care of yourself? So let's say in your downtime, there are things that you do that you know aren't good for you, or there are things that you should be doing that you know are good for you. And because you're not doing those things, you don't feel worthy of anything. And now your self-worth is low. These are reasons that you can self-sabotage. Now, without a specific example, I can't give specific advice or specific tools. So I will share with you, like I always do, something in my life that teeter-totters on the self-worth. Some things in my life have come very easy. Um, I find it very easy. I love the sun's coming out. We should get some sunshine. But I find it very easy to sing. And as a singer, I don't practice that much. I never learn to sing. Um, I I just get up and do it. And I get compliments, and those compliments hit me and roll off of me. And I appreciate them. But here's where the self sabotage comes in. Many times in my life has the singing and the groups that I've been with started to roll momentum and succeed. Now, the music industry is a tough industry. I'm not fond of 90% of what goes on in that industry. I try to stay away from it. I try to just be the vocalist. But there are certain things and patterns that I've noticed in myself that as things move forward, I stick my foot in them. And one of the weird things about me is this: after a show, I'll get, 1,000 people say, "Oh, you're great, you're great, you're great." I'll go back to my hotel room or the bus or wherever it is, and I'll search online for that one negative comment. I don't know why, but I do. I look for that one person that I did not please. Sometimes I never find it. Sometimes I do. You can't please everybody, but it's just a weird part of my self sabotage and my self worth. I look for it to better myself, or I look for it just to, I don't know. It's a strange feeling, and therefore, in my music, I have never really succeeded to the point to where I probably could have had I really wanted to. Have I really wanted to? There's still a couple of things I've got brewing that are going to be really fun for you to witness and fun for me to do. if I don't sabotage. I've been blowing these things off for a couple of years too, but we'll see how I can get there. Another area of my life where self worth is tied to this. I'm a 10th degree black belt in American Kempo and Larry Tatum Kempo. I've spent 40 some odd years of my life as a martial artist. I've worked really hard to do it. My self worth and that idea was tied to what my instructors thought of me, not the work that I put in, which was a mistake. Not totally mistake. My instructors and my peers, what they see me do and who they know me to be, is very important in the worth of my rank, in my opinion. However, when I hear other people, negate the ideas, I all of a sudden want to feel humble and agree with them that there's more work to be done. Well, there's absolutely more work to be done, but I cannot negate the idea that I earned this. I worked for it. My self-worth is not tied to what lower ranks think. Does that make sense? So, where does your self-worth sit today? And how do you raise your standards? Well, if you're doing things in your private life that you don't feel are right, stop it. It's that easy. Stop it. Make a list of the things that aren't good for you and start knocking them out of your way. And if you need help, I'm the coach. Okay. If you're not doing things in your private life that you know you should be doing that are good for you, that will elevate you and lift you up and make you feel like, yes, I am worthy. And I'll tell you what, a fitness program, a good nutrition program, those two things alone will do it. They absolutely will make you feel 100 times better than you do and worth more than you are right now. That they will. And if you need that, I'm the coach. Okay. These are simple tools that take a little bit of work. But when you start moving in them, your whole life's going to change. I love the shadows. The sun is just kicking butt around here. So, how does that make you feel? Do you find that there are certain things in life you do, you shouldn't be doing, or you realize this really curved my success to a major extent? If so, let's get to work on it. Reach out to me at 26moves.com, or on here you can reach out, or my email, whatever you want to, however you want to get a hold of me, and let's set something up and let's work on it. Comment. Let me know what you think. I'd like to see some comments below on where your self-worth might be tied to, something you might be struggling with. I'm going to throw this out for the person that I know struggling with their addiction right now. When you in life, and this is most addictions, okay? When life starts moving in a flow and things are good and you've passed by the problems you thought you had, most of you will come to a point where you think it's okay to do this again. I'm here, I'm doing great, this is wonderful, it'll be okay. It's not. It's never okay. Play the tape to the end. Remember what takes place all the way through, not just the little fun that you might be having with whatever you're addicted to, what takes place later on. And remind yourself that success is where you're at, not what you can do with it. Okay. I love you. Until next time, on your mark, get set, grow.